You are entering the championship rounds. TJ Dillashaw leaves no doubt as he dominates Renan Barao for the second time. Should he now be in the pound-for-pound best conversation? And what not for Renan Barao? Plus, Miesha Tate earns a title shot, and should the MMA community be up in arms over the firing of a cut man? This is 5 Round MMA. Hello there, my name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me, my co-hosts Guillermo Cita and Albert Cita. This is 5 Round MMA. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. A little tired. Still.
You weren't here last week. Where were you at?
I was in Florida, but sometimes you need a vacation from your vacation.
What? What? Okay. Now you were vacation recovery mode or what?
Yeah, kind of.
Before we get started, I want to begin by thanking our fine line of sponsor, the Rocking Green Eco-Friendly Clean Products. 5 Rounds Clothing Line, which Guillermo and I are both representing, and of course the RMA Foundation Redemption Martial Arts. So, gentlemen, today's show, mostly the fallout from UFC on Fox or UFC Fight Night Chicago. They always change their names now, but it was UFC on the major Fox.
UFC, Dillashaw, Barao 2.
Yes, I just go by whoever was fighting the main event. Dillashaw versus Barao 2, the Albert's there for the Bantamweight Championship bout. So, round 1. I want to talk about the main event. TJ Dillashaw dominates Barao. Guillermo, give me your reaction to the Dillashaw's performance and his game plan.
I thought it was amazing. Oh my God! You look at his technique and everything that he's doing out there. His confidence more than anything. A lot of times, all I was hearing after is like all these excuses for Renan Barao. You know. Instead of giving credit to TJ Dillashaw, I thought what TJ Dillashaw was doing out there was exactly, he was sticking to the game plan, and it showed. Yeah. It was just too much for Renan Barao.
Albert.
I'm gonna agree. I mean, if confidence can kill, it's Dillashaw's confidence right there. No, I think at first I was a little bit worried that he seemed a little bit too confident in my book, but then I think he clearly knew what he can get done and how he can get it done, because he went in there and I think he literally executed the perfect game plan that him and his trainer went through. So, yeah, if confidence can kill, there you go.
You say trainer, you mean Dwayne Ludwig.
Dane Ludwig.
He's not just a trainer.
Yeah.
He's like probably one of the best coaches.
The striking coach.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the exact same thing. I thought Dillashaw was like laughing and smiling in front of Renan Barao's face. That's like a dangerous game to play. I mean, I even told you guys that's kind of like Anderson Silva-esque. You know, he might zig when he should have zagged and get caught by a Renan Barao punch or a kick. And it seemed that way for a little bit, but in between rounds, you saw Dillashaw at his corners. Okay, stop dancing, or stop standing with him.
Because he did get caught with a couple of punches.
Yeah,
not enough to be like a huge impact in the fight, but he did get caught with a couple of them. And if they would have landed the right way, he would have been in a world of trouble.
That was my biggest worry. I even texted you guys during the fight. Yeah. Is that some of those overhand rights were connecting, and it just takes one punch. Joe Rogan even said at one point, it's like, oh, look, he has an iron chin or something like that, because he took a hard overhand right on one of them. But yeah, I agree. A little too much dancing, but I mean, like,
it worked, right?
It worked for him.
If anything, it probably frustrated Renan Barao, and it kind of took him out of his game plan, if anything, knowing how confident he was looking.
And then with Barao, too, even before the fight started, I told you guys, man, he looks like super calm. Like, he's just not even looking. He's looking down the mat the whole time, just kind of, swaying back and forth while Dillashaw is jumping up and down, screaming. Something might be up with, like, Barao. This could be dangerous. But it turns out that, like...
And the same thing, too, though. Still looked pretty big. And I really wonder what he walks around on, because he still looked pretty big. And I was like, dude, I think that's still a big cut for him. Even though he made weight, I think if you watch Embedded, he was already at 135 before they even got to the weigh-ins. Yeah. So obviously he made the weight cut easily this time, but I still think he probably has a pretty big cut.
But Guillermo, like, why are his weight issues being brought up now? He's been in champion for how long?
That's true.
I mean, even outside, even like they're saying, oh, he should move up to 145. Remember, he had the weight issue last time they're supposed to fight. He had to go to the hospital. So is it on his part, like, just being lazy outside of the gym?
Maybe, I think so. I think we're giving. Renan Barao has only lost to TJ Dillashaw. I think everybody forgets that, and he lost to him twice.
But I did, but he didn't look that good in his last fight as well. He didn't look like the old Renan Barao. Yes, he still got the win, but he didn't look like the old Renan Barao. And it could be due to because of age. I mean, the older you get, the harder that weight cut gets.
I don't know.
I mean, just look at Anthony Rumble Johnson.
The talk before the fight was 10 years or something like that without ever losing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if the guy can make weight, I mean, aside from TJ Dillashaw, he's still perfect. So why even change weight classes when I think he's there? He just needs to figure out a game plan, to be honest, against TJ Dillashaw. He just hasn't figured it out.
Yeah, but with that said, though, I wouldn't mind seeing him at one fight at 145 just to see how he does or how he looks at 145, to tell you the truth. Because at this 135 division, I don't really want to see Renan Barao versus TJ Dillashaw 3 right now.
Well,
no one wanted to see the second one.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know
So
why.
I wouldn't mind if Renan Barao just played with test the waters at 145,
but
especially now that we don't know what's going on with Jose Aldo.
But here's the thing: is who is at that 135 weight class besides TJ Dillashaw at the moment?
I'm gonna have to hold you the answer because we're talking about the next round, Guillermo. I want to
okay.
talk about TJ Dillashaw.
I didn't know.
And the bantamweight division. So stick around, people, for round number 2. Time for round number 2. TJ Dillashaw has now defeated Renan Barao twice in dominating fashion. Renan Barao was once considered one of the best fighters on the planet, pound for pound. So, in terms, if you beat one of the guys who are pound for pound the best, do you now become pound for pound the best, or just in the conversation, Guillermo?
Yes, but that's a very difficult question because that's all Joe Rogan was talking about after the fight. Is like, oh, you're one of the top pound for pound. And yeah, you be one of the guys, but I think you deserve to be on the list. But I don't know how high on the list. You don't just replace that guy. You have to prove yourself that you are the pound for pound. I think it takes more than just one fight.
Yeah, I kind of want to go over Dillashaw's wins in the UFC prior to obviously Renan Barao twice in dominating fashion, but before in between the Renan Barao wins was Joe Soto last minute. He defeated Mike Easton. He lost to Rafael Sensao via decision. He defeated Hugo Viana via TKO. He defeated Vaughn Lee and then some other guys that I don't even remember anymore. So I want to ask you guys: is 2 wins over Renan Barao kind of overshadow the wins over the guys who are maybe not even cut in the UFC anymore?
Yeah, I think so. I think it overshadows everything he's done before, and that's why they talk so highly of TJ Dillashaw, because what Renan Barao did for so long, it was kind of just stolen away from TJ Dillashaw. And it's like, hey, you had this incredible run, it's mine now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it feels like. I still think if John Dodson loses to Demetrius Johnson, there's that possible rematch, and Albert's boy Asensio is still in the picture. So there's other matches for TJ Dillashaw, but yeah, I think he needs to avenge those losses.
Well, I'm a big believer that when a fighter beats another fighter, he kind of swallows up his whole reputation and his wins. I'm a huge believer that.
One of those guys,
yeah,
right?
I'm one of those guys. If I beat you and you beat Fyodor Emelianenko, guess what? I already beat Fyodor, fool, because I beat you. And so by logical sense.
Now you understand why in pro wrestling they never want to be the stepping stone or
exactly. Let's keep it real. When Bryan Danielson defeated Randy Orton, he defeated all the legends as well. Yeah. So automatically he's up there in the list. And no, but I'm a big believer of that. So, but I do believe also just because you have some losses, and let's say Renan Barao let's say in a fake scenario, Renan Barao had defeated John Dodson, right? Mm-hmm. And then he beats Renan Barao. I don't believe he gets that win over Dodson just because they did fight before and lost, and I think he still has to avenge that loss.
So basically, now you said he has a loss. Dillashaw does have a loss over since I need advantage, and this guy's been looking for Dillashaw for a while, but injuries get in the way. Like you said too, if John Dodson is unsuccessful against Demetrius Johnson, why not jump back to 135, which he won the tough for? But also, there's one guy lurking in the wings whose name has been mentioned a lot since Saturday's win is Dominic Cruz.
Yes, I saw that. TJ Dillashaw,
but it's all. But see, look, here's my issue is
but where is Dominic Cruz?
That's okay. Yeah. Okay, let's say
is he injured.
Let's say he's
he is injured again.
Let's say he's 100% healthy, right? And he's ready to fight. I don't know. I have a bad taste in my mouth that I would want to put him against TJ Dillashaw. I'd rather put him against mid-card level, maybe a top 5 opponent.
So aside from Dominic Cruz, I don't even think he should fight Dominic Cruz. Honestly, I think to me another opponent that I would want to see against TJ Dillashaw, which is Michael McDonald, which I haven't really seen in a long time. Yeah. But I think Michael McDonald has always been knocking on the door, and I think it would be a good matchup for TJ Dillashaw.
I like that matchup. My only thing is he's lost to Renan Barao and he's lost to Uriah Faber.
But they were championship fights.
I have it now.
Okay.
What? You know how Miesha Tate was named No More Contender on Saturday? When I give it to Brian Caraway.
Wow.
I had Brian Caraway and Miesha Tate on the same card. Both challenging for title shots.
I was gonna tell you, if you want to make money in this bantamweight division, you either Brian Caraway or you go to Mexico and you get Eric Perez.
Eric Perez hasn't have the.
I mean,
the
I totally
wins.
agree with you, but you're talking about names.
Brian Caraway beat Eric Perez.
Let Alex tell you some names and you tell me who they are.
Here's the official top 10 rankings. 1, Renan Barao. 2, Dominic Cruz. 3, Rafael Assunção. 4, Jared Faber's not even there anymore. Michael McDonald, who you mentioned, who's number 5. Eddie Wineland, who lost to Brian Caraway. And then Legion Sterling. I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong. Takeya Mizaki. Number 6, Johnny Eduardo. And then Francisco Rivera. And then you got the Thomas Alameda, Brian Caraway, Uriel Quinta.
I still say give him a Assunção.
Assunção? I mean, is he hurt?
I don't know, but give him a Assunção.
I like my idea. I mean, the UFC is kind of going towards a little more just showboating now. Give it Miesha Tate, Brian Caraway, same card. Make it a Valentine's Day 2016.
You didn't have me sell until you said the Valentine's Day. Now I like it. I'm on board. I'm for it.
I'm for round 2 being over. How about that? Round number 3, I kind of left off round number 2 talking about Miesha Tate. She was successful on Saturday against Jessica Ai, unanimous decision win. After in the post-fight press conference, Dana White said, yes, Miesha Tate is next in line. She will get a shot at the winner of Bethe Correia and Ronda Rousey. I ask you, Guillermo, do you like this announcement?
No, I do not. I mean, I always agree that I hate this unwritten rule that you shouldn't fight the same person, or you can't fight the same person more than once or something like that.
Especially losing to him twice.
Yeah, losing to him twice. I just don't think there should be someone out there besides. I think
seems kind of lazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like what Miesha Tate is doing, but I think it's the lazy way out.
I bet you it'll surprise you to know that she has a 4-fight win streak with the win over Sarah McMahon. So with that said, I think there's no way around it.
But then the other thing is the way she's lost to Ronda Rousey. I mean,
I agree, and it's like the Junior Dos Santos thing, where he's lost terribly twice, right? But if he were to get 3-4 wins, even one over Verdum, doesn't he deserve Cain Velasquez one more time?
He does, and I just
that's what I'm saying. To me, I don't like it either. I think it's like a bad taste in your mouth, but there's no way around it. Like, what are you gonna do? She did what she had to do. I mean, she got her fight streak, and she defeated a top 5 opponent twice.
If anything, it just shows me that they're still
lack of depth, right?
Lack of depth, one, and they're protecting Holly Holm.
Yeah.
Well, we still got Holly Holmes, and we also have what's her name that just came into this weight class as well.
Who?
I can't remember on top of my head, but Holly Holmes being the main one though.
Yeah. But obviously let's say Ronda Rousey for all intents and purposes gets past Bethe Correia on Saturday, August 1st, and you got Rousey versus Tate 3, where the biggest selling point is the moral victory for Miesha Tate. Oh, I lasted almost 3 rounds with Ronda Rousey. Nobody else has lasted more than 1.
And that's her selling
Let's
point.
do it again. Let's see if I can last 4 rounds. I mean, she said she's getting stronger. She's getting more technique. That's what I was
saying. Miesha Tate supposedly has added more power into her striking, and it did show because she did land some vicious punches on Jessica Ai that I haven't seen before. Miesha Tate
This is a negative thing that happens when you have a dominant champion and you have a dominant number 1 contender, or like a second person, which is Miesha Tate.
The only that frustrates me when GSP was this dominant back in the day. I still want to see John Fitch over and over and over, and nobody would ever give me John Fitch.
Now they're just recycling centers out.
Now let's go back to the heavyweight division. You had Cain Velasquez champion, and you had no one that could beat Junior Dos Santos, and no one wanted to see that rematch. Now that Cain Velasquez is out of the picture, now you can see a potential other matches, and now you guys we're talking a little bit more about the heavyweight division. What happens is you have one dominant champion, and then that guy the
fighter.
Yeah, the fighter, like the gatekeeper to the championship that no one can get past. And I think that's where you get. You have Ronda Rousey dominating everybody on the list. Then you have Miesha Tate dominating everybody on the list as well.
So basically, we're all hoping for Bethe Correia to win against Ronda Rousey, just to shake teams up for purposes.
Yeah, because after this, what does Ronda Rousey really have as a selling point? Again, a moral victory over, or selling him moral victory to sell a card, and you have Cyborg waiting on the sidelines.
No lie though, there's been a lot of times when we feel this way, where we're already looking for the next opponent, we're kind of writing him off, and then we get Verdum beating Cain Velasquez.
Yeah.
I for some reason I feel the same way. I think there might be a controversial decision. Let's say they go all 5 rounds. I think Beth Correa wins.
No,
it.
I think the best interest for the UFC is doing a triple threat match between. Cyborg
I'm all for triple
and
threat
Miesha
matches.
Tate
Might as well.
and Ronda Rousey.
I mean, if Bellator can do the whole ring, Dynamite, and then Bellator are the same event, why not have just like
Kickboxing,
MMA, have like just an all out,
Let's have a triple threat
women's match. But
I think an interesting thing. I don't even think let's say Ronda Rousey does win. I don't think she's ever gonna face Holly Holmes. I think if they were to face Miesha Tate again, she beats Miesha Tate. I think she walks away from the sport.
just for a little bit, right? I mean, she has movies coming up and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, once she gets rid of Miesha Tate for a third time, let's say she does fight Miesha Tate third time, what else does she have to prove?
Yeah, I mean,
in this weight class.
Even Holly Holmes said to herself, her last one, she got a lot more stuff I want to do. And I just don't see her, if she wants to go for all these crazy kicks, well, it looks cool, but against someone the caliber of Ronda Rousey, who's going to catch her leg and then flip her to the ground and then break her arm. I mean, it's kind of like,
and if that happens, I can totally see Miesha Tate not only being the champion, but making the division a lot more open.
Yeah, well, then all this depends on if Beige Correa can get past Ronda Rousey. So that's all. Again, UFC 190 August 1st. So I think that's it for the first half of the round. We're gonna take a little break and enter the championship rounds. I'm gonna talk about the whole controversy or lack thereof, or of the firing of Stitch, the cut man, for speaking against Reebok deals. I want you guys' opinion on that. So stick around.
Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
Welcome back. It's now time for the championship rounds, round number 4. But before we get started, I want to thank all of our fine line of sponsors with 5 Rounds Clothing Line, which Cameron and I are both representing right now. Rocking Green eco-friendly cleaner products, and of course the FRMMA Foundation, Rise Up Against Bullying. So gentlemen, this is round 4. The little news and notes. One of I thought was kind of particular was the UFC had CM Punk hold a live Q&A this past week because UFC was in Chicago, and he's Chicago-made Punk.
He's from Chicago.
One of the things was I think a fan actually called him out and said, you're an entertainer, right?"
So supposedly the fan was trolling him on Twitter and calling him out over and over on Twitter, and he wouldn't respond to him. And I guess the fan actually went there and called him out again.
Hey, that's kind of respect, though, right? The guy actually going up to the guy live and
he even said something about CM Punk's sister. I'll tell you that would have been enough for me. I would have been, listen, man.
I mean, because people get you're just a troll on Twitter. You're a keyboard warrior. But the guy in person,
that's true. That's true. That's true. I gotta give that guy props because there is a lot of keyboard warriors out there and this and that. Yeah. He at least went there. What more you want? He ain't no keyboard warrior now, right?
No matter what CM Punk does, he's going to be a target of angst for any MMA fan, right, Guillermo?
Yeah, I think a good way to do is bring him in to do like a sparring session.
So no matter what he does, Guillermo, I mean, CM Punk, he defends himself against the keyboard warriors, is very intellectual talking. He's even kind of like, I understand what the situation is. He's still going to get a lot of hate from everybody, right?
I think so. I think until he gets on the octagon and actually shows what he's capable of, people are always going to question him. They're going to think of him as this pro wrestler. Look what Brock Lesnar had to do before he got. Not only does he get credibility in UFC or as a fighter, but also when he went back to WWE. I mean, like,
he got a whole gimmick, right?
I'm also pretty sure when his fights finally gets declared what day and his opponent, I'm pretty sure we're going to get the full package. I think we're going to get a UFC countdown, a UFC road to the octagon, and a bunch of embeddeds. And I think that's going to be enough to kind of hype up the fans up, because if they show his actual training, and if you see him training and actually doing good, maybe that'll kind of take the doubt out of your head.
You can always sell him, especially right now because he hasn't fought. But let's say he does lose. Can you do the same type of build-up that you're talking about?
I think it's all on the way he loses.
Well, remember, let's look at, because the only thing we have to go is Brock Lesnar. He came in.
Well, Bobby Lashley.
But Brock Lesnar has a lot of hype. He was kind of thrown on the main card. Wasn't the main event. Wasn't the co-main. He was in the middle of it. Lost to Frank Mir.
But
then they put him against Heath Herring again in the middle of the card. He dominates Heath Herring and then gets a title shot. So is that because
But see, with Brock Lesnar, I don't remember as much attention as CM Punk is getting. Maybe because of the success that Brock Lesnar had. Yeah. I think that is what's helping out CM Punk a lot. So I think they want to see him succeed as the fans, but we're still on the fence with them because we haven't seen him perform.
Like nothing at all. Even Brock Lesnar, he fought in Japan once before he came to UFC. Yeah. This guy's just coming straight from. from professional wrestling, even not no collegiate wrestling at all. Brock Lesnar had a collegiate wrestling career. Bobby Lashley had wrestled collegiate. All these guys who coming from transition from MMA to wrestling had an athletic background.
And then the other thing is Brock Lesnar signed with the UFC, and then he was already ready to fight. I mean, like it was just picking out his dates and stuff like that. But this guy's like, I'm signing, but I need time to train.
Which is so weird. Like, can I sign a contract? I'm sure if I sign a contract, I'll be ready to train.
Exactly. Dana White, hey, sign me and give me a year with the best camp out there.
Yeah.
And then give me the opportunity.
Which sounds to me like a good reality show.
Yeah.
Put a guy in the alpha males for a year and let's see what happens.
Well, what kind of sport is that? Like, oh, hey, I want to go like to LA Lakers, sign me, and then give me a year to train, and then I'll be ready to go.
Yeah,
right?
Let me train with Magic Johnson for a whole year, and then get back to me.
Yeah,
that ain't happening.
Which is probably why it's a lot of angst. Like, a lot of blue collar fans watching this. Like this guy's giving a break for nothing, but just because of who he is.
And when you talked about the hate, that's probably where the hate is coming from. It's like, why does he get this opportunity when there's millions of people that deserve an opportunity like this that don't get it?
Yeah.
Give them a year to prepare with the best, exposure, trainers, things like that. We don't get that.
But you know who's really going to be lucky is the guy who's going to face CM Punk in his first bout, because that guy's going to be a star no matter what he does.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Win, lose, or draw, you're going to get another fight at UFC.
Yeah, win, lose, or draw, this round is over. Time for round number 5, the last round. This one's going to have a little bit of controversy for you guys. That's why I said it for the last one. Biggest news this week was the firing by the UFC of Jacob Stitch Duran, the famous cut man in the corner of the Stitch. Everybody knows who he is. Been around pretty much since I remember watching UFC and MMA. He made the mistake, the mistake of...
Stating his opinion?
Yes, I was trying to word it. Stating his opinion.
Yeah, when someone asks you a question, answering
his
it.
opinion nicely.
But mostly on the Reebok deal, he had some... Were there even bad words to say about the Reebok deal?
Pretty much, he was sponsored by Bad Boy, and he had other little sponsorship patches on his vest. And pretty much he said he can't wear no more. He has to wear a Reebok one with the Reebok dealership. And he said that sucks because he was getting paid on a monthly basis by his sponsorships, and he's not part of the Reebok deal, so he makes no money off of Reebok.
Fighter, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he was just saying how that sucks, and next thing you know, he's fired. And the crazy part is Reebok actually officially tweeted about this and said, "Look, we have no influence or we don't control who gets let go or fired at UFC. So
we just pay the UFC.
We just pay the So even they said they had no problem with it, or else I think they would have said like, hey, it's not something. They wouldn't have said nothing, but they clearly said that they weren't behind all this and they had nothing to do with it. So that shows you that they didn't really think much of it either.
So here's my overhand right on Dana White. He's in charge of this UFC, or the president of the UFC and co-president with
Zuffa, right? Or,
Zuffa's like
Zuffa's the Fertitta brothers,
but he's pretty much in charge of day-to-day operations of UFC. Everybody that is in the organization has some type of benefit towards your organization. So anytime you make any type of decision, any type of firing, whether he's your friend or not, what does that have to do with anything? He has employment under you. You have to take care of him because he does bring something into your organization. If not, then let him go. But say that's the reason why you're letting him go, because he's not contributing to your company.
Not
because he's not your friend.
Now let me give Dana White the jab. All right. And I'll give him a clean jab.
Whatever that means.
He claims to be the best organization in the whole world when it comes to mixed martial arts, right? If you're the best of something, why won't you have the best person on your roster, on your team, working for you? And in fight, that's what I'm saying. Fighters will tell you his raps are one of the best raps they ever seen, one of the best cutmans they ever used.
That's how we know.
And it's all from Twitter. Yeah, it's all from Twitter.
No inside source.
Yeah,
but all public information.
Yes, go get. But the point is, if you're the best of something, why would you let go of the best person of that field? It's like saying, like, NBA's not doing anything with Jerry West, not doing anything with Phil Jackson. Even though, if you look at it, Phil Jackson has said some bad stuff about the Knicks. Did the Knicks let go of a guy that is that good?
No, he just gets fined.
Exactly. I think I would go that route. Look, listen, you're going to get $1,000 fine just because we can't have people speaking ill will of our sponsorship, whether it be Reebok, Bud Light, Monster, whatever. It doesn't matter. You cannot be saying bad things, so you're going to get fined just to set the tone. But you don't get rid of the best guy out there of what he does if you're the best company.
I just find it weird that these cutmen are employed by the UFC and not like randomly assigned by the athletic commission. Is that something that should be like?
And now
is that like nobody's talking about that? That's kind of weird.
I think that's controversy to begin with, because now you're talking about, well, what is the UFC trying to hide with this? Are they, is he really that cut?
You suck men's grease more than others.
Exactly. Stuff like that, or like
if he gets cut, don't take care of it too. Just do what you can to make it. I was like, what is it? It's kind of weird.
Which adds even more to it, which is I think they should have their own cut man. They should bring in their own cut man, get some kind of schedule. I know here my things fine
problems here.
Yeah, but I do think it shouldn't come out of the fighters' budget. It should come out of UFC budget. But they should be able to have their own cut man. Because if you think about it, just like Alex said, let's say you got a stranger cut man, and for some reason you rub them the wrong way in the back. How do you know he's not going to be professional enough to take care of your wounds or whatever? Wouldn't you want someone that you trust taking care of your wounds during the fight?
Well, before I begin, Dana White gave you a jet bag.
I know. The equipment.
And the second thing, if you look at it, what is the Phoenix Suns known about?
Oh, they have a good trainer, no?
They have the best physical trainers in the whole NBA as a team. And, as you're an aging star, you go to the Phoenix Suns because they can rejuvenate you for some reason. That's what they're known for. I think cutmen kind of serve the same purpose.
Even the guy that deals with Kobe Bryant's ankle wrapping, I think he's a specific guy. And this is the guy they keep because that's the guy that Kobe Bryant trusts with his wrapping of his foot.
I mean, so even like, I think this was a story that's so big that USA Today picked it up because I think one day of the week, Dana White decided to be mean to everybody on Twitter, like who was like talking, about this whole situation where Dana White's like, oh yeah, well your avatar is ugly, or get more followers, loser, stuff like that. That's what Dana White actually said.
You're so cool, Dana White.
So like, this is kind of like, I guess this story tugged at the heartstrings of the MMA community, especially fans who like, who recognize their personas, the faces of people that they watch. Oh, that's a cool guy getting stitched. He's a good cut man. But so is this kind of be blown out of proportion a little bit, or just kind of or just like another thing to throw on top of this whole Reebok deal in the UFC?
No, I don't think it's getting blown out of proportion because it just shows you that for Dana White, he can scream till he's blue, saying that he should be in the same level as the NBA, NHL, NFL, and guess what? At the end of the day, you're not, because you run a dictatorship type of work ethic here. Because obviously, if they don't go your way, guess what? Go find something else, because supposedly there's nothing else out there.
Yeah,
I just think it just shows favoritism more than.
But
anything.
That's what I'm saying. How can you be compared to the NBA? Running your organization like that.
Imagine like Adam Silver going on like a Twitter rant like that.
But the other thing is,
but imagine the commissioner of the NFL going on a Twitter rant like that.
Well, not Twitter, but it kind of goes
behind closed doors.
What's the problem with the NFL right now is that you have this you judge, disciplinary. He's in charge of everything. I mean, he does the
well, because as long as the owners are making money, they don't care. Because people forget the commissioners work for the owners, not for the players. That's why there's a players union, there's an umpires union, but in the MMA, there's no union.
Maybe it should be structured that way. Instead, we should do teams, the alpha male teams, and sometimes they have to fight against each other.
That's difficult.
Maybe.
But back to Dana White, I just think for fighters, they're starting to see that maybe he's not the best person to work for.
Yeah.
And if the fight,
and to tell you the truth, here's the thing: when Dana White says, "Well, if you don't like the way I do stuff, go watch something else." No. The way I want to do it is that I want your buddy, your pals, the Fertittas, to finally realize, you know what? He's our good buddy. Yeah, he got this far, but guess what? To get to the next level, we need someone professional and let him go and actually get an actual
do you guys
good
feel like
president.
Coming, like the bigger they get, the more commercial appeal they want to get? This Dana White might say something dumb one day and then get himself in trouble.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm hoping for. I think the wrong route is to say let's go with another organization because we don't like Dana White. No, we like this organization, we like the UFC, but guess what? The president needs to go. The Fertittas need to do the responsible business decision and get a better president. Guess what? The NBA does it all the time, and NHL does it all the time.
They vote on it.
Yeah, they vote on it. But I'm saying when they know when the writing's on the wall, we need a new person and stuff forward. Even when it comes down to franchises, the Lakers, even the owner even just recently said, you know what? If this new current roster doesn't work, then I guess I'm gonna have to step down and we have to go a different route.
That.
No, but I'm just saying. But I'm saying just the fact that he says it.
Yeah.
It should show you that.
I want to see him back it up. Until he backs it
Well,
up.
first of all, we might have a good roster, Gamble. So don't
Well,
be counting.
speaking of backing up and stepping down, we're going to step down from this episode because it's now over. We're over the time limit. But before we go, I want to thank all of our sponsors with 5 Rounds Clothing Line, Rocking Green Eco-Friendly Cleaning Products, and of course the RMA Foundation, Rise Up Against Bullying. And until next week, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook.
We've been pretty popular on Instagram, so go ahead and follow us on that.
It's FIVERoundMMA.com. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic, and please check out 5RoundMMA.com. Albert, what do you got?
I just want to thank everybody for listening.
Oh yeah, the cream.
To get grimy.